Hello, Let's Plays this Reed here, and welcome back to Destiny 2. And today, I just wanted to say this here and now because it's true. I think we know who pulls off this pose a little bit better. B. Anyways, welcome back to Destiny 2. Today, we're finally going to be doing the Season of the Wish review. And I really kind of don't have a lot to say about this season. This is the last time I think I'll be doing a seasonal review. Because every time I did a season review, I just kind of rated it, explained like what was fun, what was good, how awesome some of the mechanics and activities were, and how meh other seasons were. And so far, I want to say that this season was a solid 8.5 out of 10. Hands down, this was an 8.5 out of 10. It was a lot of fun, and I like all the stuff that they brought to us, but at the same time, it also kind of wasn't as much as I thought it was. Because even though this season did have, I dare say, a damn good story, if you really think about it, and I mean this 110%, they just basically reuse the same area for all three activities. For the story mode, we use this exact same area. For Riven's Lair, we use this area. For the coil, we use this area. We use this exact same area. The only area that was primarily different was the Star-Crossed Exotic mission, which I don't ever really consider that as a activity, in all honesty. Which I apologize if some people would like to call that an activity, but still. I feel conflicted because all activities, the story mode, the Riven's Lair activity, and the coil were all really fun activities, especially the coil. I absolutely love the fact that they gave us our first ever, what do you want to call it? What do they currently call it? Like a rebel style? I can't remember what the technical style is, but technically I like to call it as a live, die, repeat. Every time you completed the exact same activity, they'd go in, give you some upgrades that you could pick upon, and then they'd increase the difficulty of the activity. And you'd go in and do it again. Of course, they'd have different bosses and different challenges and such, but still. I liked that the fact that this was the first time Bungie ever really did that with Destiny 2. And as the season progressed on, once we were told, hey, the story's going to be extended because of the fact that we've delayed the final shape to such a long period of time, I'm so happy that they actually said we're going to bring in more stuff. Not only did they bring in the fucking Riven's Lair and the coil, or the Star-Crossed missions, they also brought in like the wish quests, the Riven's wishes. That way we could actually get these things called wish tokens, come up to Mara Sov and spend them on very hard to get stuff. They basically said, hey, do you want weapons from a raid that you haven't acquired before? You want specific mods that are really good? We got that for you. And it's a red border too. So if you're just missing one or two more, congratulations. Go get the wish tokens, come back. We got that for you. Oh, you don't need that? You need exotics? Maybe you're missing a hunter exotic or a warlock exotic? We got that for you. And they're all from Lightfall. So they're all brand new exotics. Brand freaking new exotics like Pyrogales, freaking I don't even know how to pronounce that one. Or of course, the whale, because damn, that is a thick helmet. And then they said, "Oh, were there events that you missed like the Dawning or Festival of the Lost? Don't worry, we'll allow you to actually buy the mementos from these guys." Because I completely missed out on the Lost memento. I completely did. Once they said that they were bringing this in, I grinded so quickly. I got in this game so fast, and I completed one of these missions as fast as I could just to get the Lost memento because I didn't have it before. And I absolutely appreciate and love that. I love that. They said, hey, we're gonna bring in gear and exotics and all this stuff just because if you do want to come back to the game but you want to have a reason to play it, we're gonna give that reason to you. Or at least more of a reason than just waiting for the game to have its season finale. Which it finally did. Which is why I'm finally saying hello and goodbye to Season of the Wish, which has some ridiculously good gear and armor. I'm not gonna lie, I have all of the, maybe not all. I think I'm still missing the bow. Let's figure that out. Am I still missing the bow? Ah, no, I'm not. I have all of this season's weapons and patterns unlocked. The armor and the ornaments for this armor gives off some of the most glorious Riven vibes I have ever seen. And not only that, the weapons are just damn straight amazing. The primary fusion rifle scatter signal, oh my god, this thing is horrifying if you get the right mods on it. And then we have weapons like Scholar Potential. I am a little bit disappointed that Scholar Potential and Lethophobia are the only secondary weapon or energy weapons, but hey, to each their own. And they give us a brand new linear fusion rifle, which, again, with the right mods, can actually be a damn good weapon to use in raids. I have never once thought to myself I'd ever get a good a linear fusion rifle in my entire life. And of course, they brought back the Dragon's Breath. I believe, I could be wrong, but they brought back one of the last exotic rocket launchers from Destiny 1. And not only did they bring it back, but they made it amazing. At least I like to think amazing. It's weird. This thing has a odd history in my track record of beating the absolute crap out of everything it sees or barely doing any damage. It's very weird. But hey, Dragon's Breath is here. We got incredible weapons. We got some of the most gorgeous armor ever. We got a very interesting story, but if you weren't around for Forsaken, the whole concept of the Last Wish might fly right over your head. But if you're still interested in the game story, then at least you will be just like, oh yeah, this is the wish that we're going to use to get into the portal. I do like the story. I do like the season finale. I love the fact that we got to refight against the Black Heart. The activities are fun. I just hate the fact that they reuse the same area for both activities. But again, to each their own. One man's trash is another man's treasure. This was a fun season, and I am sad to see it go, but I'm also happy to say c'est la vie, because if I'm recalling correctly, this should be the last season. This should be the last season before the final shape gets here. Once the final shape gets here, that's when they're moving over to the new episodic traits. They're going to move over to episodes, which will allow people to at least leave and come back without having to feel pressured to say, oh god, I got 3 months to do all these activities before the next season gets here. So yeah. Hello and goodbye to the final to the Last Wish. Season of the Wish. Thank you for being a very good season. Again, 8.5 out of 10 would play again. And to end off this little video saying that this was a fun season, we're going to play the activity Riven Slayer. And I think this is going to be my last seasonal review, just because there aren't a lot of... They're not going to be doing any more season stuff. And I don't want to make episode reviews either, just because I always wanted to make these seasonal reviews to say, hey Bungie, you did a good job. Because I remember that there were some seasons where even I had to sit there and think to myself, like Season of the Worthy. Season of the Worthy, I think I sat there as like, I gave him a 7 out of 10. And I sat there as like, Bungie, good idea for making a public event, but this public event was just a kick in the teeth. It really felt like it was built for more than 3 people. And you could only go in with 3 people in a fire team because it was a public area. So that's where I sat there and said, you might want to fix the idea. And then guess what? Comes in Season of Arrivals, where they give you a public event, but they also give you a public event space so that way you can actually guarantee get people that are trying to do this activity. So that's when it's like, now you fix the problem. That's lovely.
No, it presents too much of a constant threat. Without a staple of Guardian warriors, my Corsairs and Paladins would be overwhelmed.
I'm not so sure Petra would agree. She seems quite capable, and intent on remaining so.
Yes, but she grows tired. There is a limit to all things, even those without him.
Also, if I may just say, I absolutely love the fact that they said we're bringing back the Soul Device for this one. The Vex themselves are such a weird and underused threat in Destiny 2, because it's very true. The Vex, albeit are a very powerful enemy race to go up against constantly, the problem is they just don't have a direct leader of sorts. So we only really know that it's like, Vex Mind is interfering with this. Like, the Undying Mind, they're just like, oh, now's probably a good time to invade on the moon. When that happened back during Season of Undying. After Season of Undying, it's like, well, technically speaking, that was our first and only real Vex leader we're gonna get for a little while. And even then, it wasn't really a leader. It was just a Vex thought to themselves, hey, now's probably a good time. Man, I miss that. As for any other season, Quoria was a directed one, but that's also because Quoria was co-working with Savathun of sorts. And this one was just because the Witness had instructed them to be like, hey, make sure they can't follow us. And the Soul Divisive are inspired, I want to say, by the Darkness. So it does make a lot of sense, but it's so cool and weird at all at the same time. Because if you think about it, the Vex don't have a direct purpose. They don't have a direct leader. And then there's the Soul Divisive, where there's like, oh, we could, technically speaking, we could do whatever the fuck we wanted, but instead, we're going to do something different. We're going to find a form of evolution and advancement that we want to follow. Because we believe this is the superior form of evolution and advancement. And after years and years of questioning, they finally explained what the fuck the Black Heart was. I love it. I love it. Don't worry, man, you're good. Don't worry about me. Ooh. Likey. Maybe I should try to use Dragon's Breath a little bit more. At least get the Catalyst before the season ends, you know? I've been doing a lot more Catalyst hunting as of late. I couldn't tell you for why. I just thought to myself, like, you know, I have the Catalyst. I might as well work to get it, you know? Might as well have it and use it. Die. Die, robots! There we go. Ow! That was it? That was... Dragon's Breath. Oh, that does so much overtime damage. Oh my god, that's so good. I'm gonna die. Whoa! Okay, that looked like a very dangerous transition. Nice. We're almost there. Heck yeah. Let us progress forward and figure out whatever it is that we're killing.
I see it now, Guardian. What the Soul Divisive have been trying to achieve through tapping into the darkness. The Vex have always wanted to calculate and predict paracausality. They've always failed. So,
oh, makes
instead,
sense.
They appear to be attempting to merge their collective with the darkness, with the Witness. It would seem they have not achieved it. I doubt they ever could, but they are trying.
Well, yeah, I mean, it does make sense. They do worship the darkness like, motherfucker. How dare you, booby trap? They do worship the darkness like no other group in the entirety of the game. So it does make sense that they try to build a device that's as similar to paracausality as they can get. Regardless of success or failure, it does make sense that they at least try. Okay, we're 2 out of 3. Over here. Where's a third? Guys! It's a booby trap! I don't know. It's right there. I cannot be more specific to you. The booby trap is directly there. See? Just like I did. If you do the same thing. Okay, the fact that you're alive makes me feel like that's a big old hunky-dory pile of bullshit. Hey, yo, Riven, why are there so many booby traps in your lair? Did you just not want to have a normal house? Did you really think to yourself, ah, yes, I have to have a house that's so lethal, it would barely be livable. Ah, Riven, you scare and confuse me. But whatever, eh? That third guy will be over here in just a minute. He won't be here in a little bit. But at the very least, this was a nice idea. Taking us to Riven's lair. Always questioned that. I always questioned if the Ahamkara had a place to live. Because you have to think about it. Ahamkara are fucking massive. I understand that they can technically mold their way into whatever they want themselves to look like. That doesn't change the fact that they're massive. And being in their natural state is probably a lot more comfortable than faking their identity. Because if you told me, oh, I have the ability to shapeshift, that's fabulous. I'm so glad I can shapeshift. I'd imagine being in my own natural state or form would probably be a lot more comfortable and relaxing if I ever had some place to go to than being told, oh yeah, you have to size down a little bit if you actually want to have your own home. Just sounds natural to me. The Soul Divisive invaded because they wanted to stop us from getting our hand on Riven's clutch to making a deal with Riven. We made the deal with Riven, we gave her eggs, and there's a pretty darn good chance that in the nearby future we're probably gonna have to go dragon hunting again. Well, hey, at least we have dragon-themed weapons to go dragon hunting. I dare say that's the one benefit to everything that's happened as of late. Uh-oh, shield recharges in 23 seconds? That's no bueno. Guess we gotta whip out the dragon's breath for this one. Fireball! 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 Oh, everyone's dead. Ah! Listen, I've killed Riven like 17 times. You don't scare me. Albeit you do a lot more damage than she ever did to me, so that's nice. Who'd I revive? Damn. Now, I know I should have backed off, but a part of me just thought to myself, no, if I revived one, I could probably revive the other guy. Well, that's an old emblem. Hold on, what's this maid's using? What's Chinese maid here using? That is an old emblem. That's a Trostland emblem. My guy. You know, I like your style. I just feel like you need a shader to put it all together, you know? I feel like he's got pretty good taste. I just feel like he needs a shader. Maybe a black and red or a black and green to tie it all together. I don't know. And before anyone assumes I'm being racist when I say Chinese guy, I am not. I know that that is Chinese. Chinese have a much more blockier alphabets than Japanese or Korean. Japanese is a lot more wavy, whereas Korean is a lot more bubbly and ovally. I'm not even joking when I say that. And I know that's a very weird thing to be like, oh, it's bubbles. Bubbles, that's what Koreans use, bubbles. I'm not even joking. Koreans have a lot more O's and what looks like circles and ovals within their alphabet. And then the Japanese is a lot, Japanese and Chinese are a lot very similar. Wow, that's poor English on me, but they're very similaristic in their alphabetical language. The only primary difference that I want to state out is that if you look at Chinese kanji, is that Chinese? Is that the Chinese alphabet is very much so a lot blockier, a lot more square and rectangular. Whereas, I don't even know. Whereas, say, Japanese is not as blocky. It's a bit more wavy. It's kind of like a combination of Korean and Chinese. It's a bit blocky, but it does have a lot more curves than edges. FFA, you're about to die. You're being shot at by 15 different snipers, and they all have laser guns. I don't know what else to tell you. If you could survive for 5 more seconds, that'd be great. And looky here, I'm alive. This is so weird. It's like it's taking out the environmental ads as well as it's doing damage. Is it doing a lot of damage? No. Is it still doing a decent amount of damage to make you question how damn good this gun is? Yes. Okay, that's the last rocket for a little bit. Ah! Hammer! I missed. Punch! Punch! I said punch! I am wearing dragon armor. That means I should have wish magic attached to me. Therefore, I say hammer. That means hammer! You're not the only one with a laser. Centraloid mine. Oh, God. Hey, I'm so happy you're trying to defend this set of staircase. Behind us, the boss is right there. Nice dive. Die, potato. Fireball! I don't care how small the room is, I cast Fireball. Gonna hit with the same 1-2 that I unlocked from Forsaken. Fit for killing Uldren. I mean dragons. I can't make those jokes now that Uldren's a guardian. Can't make those jokes anymore.
Do you truly mean to
Heck
return
yeah.
to your Techion training?
I do. I was never the best student, but I've learned to be patient.
I have faith in you, Petra. Your stubbornness will see you through.
Yes, my queen.
Also, I think I said this in an earlier video. I love the fact that this entire season they've worked on a lot more character development for a lot of side characters as well. Because for anyone who does not know, or for anyone who did not play the story, Petra's actually going to become a Techion, because she originally was going to become a Techion for Mara Sov, but she kind of flunked the course and was no longer a Techion, or no longer in the interest of becoming a Techion. So then she kind of just became the Queen's Wrath in interest to defend and serve the Queen. But now seeing that the major war is almost over, she's going to do anything she can to stop the Taken War that's currently going on in the Dreaming City and see if she can stop that curse that's going on. Good character developments. Good character developments. I've done everything I can to progress to defend my city, but I have failed so many times that I need to do something else to be able to stop the damage that I did progress. Good character development. Even better character development towards Mara Sov, because she has felt almost like a completely different character. And I had to figure this out myself when I was noticing. It's like, oh my god, Mara Sov's so nice now. She's so sweet. She's so kind. And then it kicked with me. It's like, wait a minute, why is she so sweet and kind? The Mara Sov back in D1 was condescending and cunning. She was the type of woman that'd be like, I'm not interested in helping you because if I help you, that could out the secret of my people to the rest of the universe. The rest of the universe already knows about my people. I'm still going to keep the secret of my people as best as I can. So I'm just sitting there like, you're contradicting yourself, but you're doing it in a way that still gives you home team advantage. You're still doing it in a way that makes you more powerful than the rest of the universe, and that's horrifying. And I love it. And I love it. But still, in previous seasons, she attempted to actually try to, not necessarily steal Uldren away from us, but she has tried to make Crow more like Uldren than he wanted or accepted himself to be as. So that kind of pushed Crow away from her, and she realized that she didn't want to lose her only family, but trying to enact her schemes and her evilness and her cunning, connivingness, pushing her motive forward, slowly started deteriorating everything that she held dear closest to her. So she realized she had to change and be a bit less evil of sorts, I guess. She was never necessarily evil, but she was never necessarily on anyone else's side except for her own. Even when it came to her people, she still made plans that would endanger their lives, but still for the sake of benefiting them. And that's such a weird thing to hear. Oh, my queen planned a major terrorist attack that cost millions of lives. But in doing so, it will save us hundreds of thousands of millions of lives in the future. And I'm just sitting there like, yeah, but still, she did horrible things for the sake of her people. Just... I don't even know how to explain it because I think I just explained it. She did horrible things for the sake of her people, but the horrible things were directly to her people. It's weird. It's kind of like V for Vendetta, some shit like that. But yeah, that has been Season of the Wish. The last season in Destiny 2 history. I believe. They said they were going to move on to an episodic style. But with that being stated, Bungie did state that they were going to be done with the whole Battle Pass idea. So technically speaking, this should be our last Battle Pass. I believe. I could be wrong with that statement. Year 1, Year 2, Year 3, Year 4, Year 5, Year 6. Everything leading up to Year 7. Technically, this will be our 9th year of Destiny. Holy crap. And the story continues. I think I've said this in other videos, but I'm going to say this again. I believe no matter how much is... I believe that no matter how much Bungie keeps advertising, oh yeah, don't worry, there'll be more Destiny. There's going to be more years of content. There's going to be more of this. There's going to be more of that. There's going to be more Destiny 2, regardless of anything. Regardless if we did take down the main bad guys that we've set up for the past 9 years, there will be more Destiny. Yeah, I kind of look at that and I think to myself, regardless if Bungie acknowledges this or not, Destiny 2 is kind of done at this point. Destiny 2 is done. After the final shape, that's the end. Period. And even Bungie's kind of realized that because they've actively been making a lot of posts where they'll say, it's like, oh, don't worry, we're going to have more Destiny 2 content. But they keep putting in stuff that makes it feel like that this is their biggest expansion, that this is their biggest conclusion, their biggest finale, because even they realize, regardless if they decide to put more Bungie, more Destiny content out there, the fan base will be done. Because the fan base has been a part of the story for 9 years, and we have never expected the ending to come this soon. We've never knew what the ending would be like, and we are right here at the doorstep. Regardless if Bungie wants this to be the end or not, the fan base is kind of done. The fan base is at the end. This is the ending. And if they try to push, okay, well don't worry, there's a to be continued. There'll be a Final Shape Part 2 coming next year. The fans will not really be a part of that. Because once we take care of the Witness, once the darkness is technically done and it's just a tool for us to use, that's it. The game's over. Sure, there will be an after credits scene with us taking out the last bit of bad guys for like the next 3 seasons worth of episodes. It doesn't change the fact that we still took care of the main bad guy. Technically speaking, by that point, game's done. Game's done. The community is done. The community is over everything. They've killed gods. They've flown across the solar system. They've created galactic genocides just for this moment. And if you mean to tell me that after everything they've done, after they kill the final bad guy, they're going to stick around for the after credits. They're going to stick around for more stuff after that. No, they've been doing this for the past 9 years. Some people will stay. Some people will be set. Well, some people will go. Some people will leave. And that sucks, but it's also kind of the end. This is the end. And I cannot wait to see what Bungie throws at us in 2 weeks from now. So, this is goodbye to the seasons. This is a goodbye to Season of the Wish, but this is also goodbye to the beginning of all the seasons. This is goodbye to Season of Undying, Dawn, Worthy, Arrivals, Hunt, Chosen, Splicer, Lost, Risen, Haunted, Plunder, Seraph, Defiance, Deep, and the Witch. And the Wish. This is goodbye to the seasons and all of their incredible loot and all of their incredible storytelling. And with that being said, I'd like to say that is all for this time. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more, and I'll see you legendary players in the next video. Bye-bye.